Hello friends, myself is Professor D.G. Trivedi. I'm going to take your 7th lecture related with the flip-flop memory elements. This is a unit number 3 of EL4502. Dear friends, we have studied so many different type of the flip-flops. Basic RS flip-flop, gated flip-flops, edge-triggered flip-flop and a pulse triggered flip-flop like JK master slave flip-flop. Now we are going to study the analysis of sequential logic circuit because we have studied that various representation of the flip-flop for analysis and other application. One of the application is for analysis of the sequential logic circuit. Now the question is this: what does it means by sequential logic circuit? A sequential logic circuit is having a clock frequency is the input, and with the clock frequency how the output is going to be changed, that we have to study. And here there are two type of the circuit elements that could be utilized to prepare a sequential logic circuit. The inputs are function of the outputs. That means it is derived from the output of the flip-flops that is connected as the input of the flip-flops. Now, an actual input to the flip-flop is nothing but the clock frequency which is given to its clock input of number of flip-flops together. So, a sequential logic circuit contains flip-flop as memory elements and may also contain logic gate as a combination logic circuits. So in sequential logic circuit, there is a flip-flops are there as well as there is a combination logic circuit elements like basic logic gates, universal logic gates, exclusive OR gates, etc. is going to be utilized as a combination of circuit elements. Analysis of the circuit helps to explain its performance, and by doing this analysis of this circuit we can understand the performance of the circuit. We may use truth table for each building block or corresponding equation of this purpose. For this we can utilize the truth table of different type of the flip-flop which is going to be utilized in this circuit, or else we can utilize the characteristic equation also to analyze this kind of circuit. In this section, we look at the important issue in analysis problem through an example. The example is given here. So this process of analysis of the sequential logic circuit we are going to study through the example 8.11. Now understand this example. Consider a sequential circuit shown in a figure 8.37. It has only one input, clock, in the form of fixed frequency binary pulses that triggers both the flip-flop together. As output X is generated from the flip-flop outputs as shown, analysis of the circuit will give how flip-flop values or outputs or states, and more importantly output X changes with the input clock. The steps are as follow. This is the matter of example 8.11 which is shown in this circuit. This is a logic circuit for a sequential logic for analysis purpose. You can see that in this circuit there are two RS flip-flop is going to be utilized, which is designated flip-flop A as well as flip-flop B. Flip-flop A is having the input SA and RA, which is the set and reset input for the flip-flop A, and its output is designated A and A bar. Similarly, for the flip-flop inputs are SB and RB, and its output is designated B and B bar. Now, the input of this both the flip-flops is nothing but the clock input is there. So the flip-flop output is negative age triggered. You can see the bubble on the clock input for both the flip-flop. So the flip-flop changes the state on negative age of the clock pulse. Moreover, we can derive the input in terms of the output. SA is equal to, it is taken from the output of the first flip-flop complement side. That means SA is equal to A bar or AN bar, you can say that. And RA is equal to AN will be there. So this AN is connected as an input to the first flip-flop. Similarly, SB is equal to AN as well as another input is BN bar. These two inputs are combined through the AND gate and it is given to the SB. So we can say that SB is equal to AN BN bar. And similarly, RB is equal to, it is a combination of AN, one of the input is AN, another input is BN is going to be there. That means we can see that here the inputs are taken as a function of outputs. So not from the circuit diagram flip-flop input relation. SA is equal to A and S and RA is equal to AN. SB is equal to AN B and S and RB is equal to AN BN. Next, using this characteristic equation of the SR flip-flop, we can analyze this flip-flop circuit. See, this characteristic equation we have derived in a previous lecture. In a previous lecture, we have studied that the characteristic equation of RS flip-flop, that is the next state output Qn plus 1 is a function of present output, that is Qn, as well as input S and R. So Qn plus 1 is equal to S plus R dash Qn, which can be utilized for a, which can be written for a flip-flop A as well as for the flip-flop B. For a flip-flop A, the next state output AN plus 1 is equal to SA plus RA dash AN. Now, what is RA dash? We can substitute the value of SA and RA dash in terms of the outputs. That means substituting SA is equal to AN dash and RA is equal to AN in this present equations. So SA is equal to AN dash and RA is equal to AN. So RA dash is equal to AN dash into AN will be there. Now, any variable which is complement result 0. So combining any variable ending with its complement results 0. So this term is going to be 0. That means the next state output of the first flip-flop A n plus 1 is equal to A n dash. That is the one equation we can obtain for the flip-flop A. Similar calculations we can do for the flip-flop B. Bn plus 1. From this characteristic equation we can write SB plus RB dash Bn. We can substitute SB is equal to AN Bn dash and RB is equal to AN Bn, and because it is RB dash, so we can take whole bar or it is AN Bn whole dash into Bn. Substituting SB is equal to AN Bn dash and RB is equal to AN Bn, we get this equation. Now, using the De Morgan's theorem, AN Bn whole dash is or bar is nothing but the NAND gate. So NAND gate can be converted into bubbled OR gate. So using the De Morgan's theorem, we can separate this one. This is inputs are inverted and AND gate becomes OR gate. That means AN is going to be converted into AN dash. Bn input is converted into Bn dash. And N sign is going to be converted into OR sign and multiplied by Bn. Now we can utilize the distributive law. That means AN dash Bn will be the first term and Bn dash Bn will be the second term. Bn dash Bn, that second term is going to be 0 like previous one. That any variable ending with its complement results always 0. So we'll get Bn plus 1 is equal to, the first term is An Bn dash and second term An dash Bn, like this. This is nothing but AB bar plus A bar B. And this result is nothing but the Boolean equation of exclusive OR gate, which is having the input an and bn. So we can say that bn plus 1 is nothing but the direct sum of an and bn. So an direct sum of bn. That is the next state output of flip-flop B. Now from the circuit we can find out that the output from a given circuit Xn is nothing but we can obtain from the AND gate output. And input of the AND gate is nothing but A and Bn. So Xn is equal to A and Bn we can obtain from the circuit diagrams. That is X is equal to An as well as Bn. This is going to be An and this is going to be Bn. This way we can obtain the output X of the circuit diagram. Whatever we have studied, it is written over here. So we are going to read this one. The equation shows that the present given by the time index n. That means the present state of the flip-flop is given by the time index n. A value of A and B flip-flop, also called the state of the sequential logic circuit, determine the present output, that is An and Bn. And the next output, that is given by the time index n plus 1, and that is called An plus 1, and Bn plus 1 is the next output of the flip-flop after the clock age occurs. Flip-flop values are the state of the circuit. Thus, if the present state is Bn is equal to 0 and An is equal to 0, then the present output X is equal to An Bn, that is equal to 0.0, that is equal to 0. That means we start now the circuit analysis. And in a circuit analysis, we will be starting with some initial conditions. Now, let us consider that both the flip-flops are reset. That means Bn is equal to 0 and An is equal to 0 is the initial output state of a flip-flop A and B. So the present output according to the X is equal to A and Bn, that is equal to 0.0, that is equal to 0. So present output of the AND gate X is going to be 0. At the end of the first clock pulse, now when the first clock pulse is going to be resulted, then the next output is going to be An plus 1 and Bn plus 1 will be there. So what is the Bn plus 1? That is nothing but the exclusive OR gate which is having An and Bn is the input. An is equal to 0 and Bn is equal to 0. So 0 XOR 0, that is going to be 0. Because XOR gate outputs are going to be 0 when the inputs are equal. That means if the inputs are going to be 0 0 or 1 1, the output is going to be 0. But if the inputs are different, that is either 0 1 or 1 0, the output is going to be 1 of exclusive OR gate. So Bn plus 1 is equal to 0, direct sum of the 0, that is going to be 0. And the next state of the flip-flop An plus 1, that is equal to An dash. An is equal to 0. So 0 dash, that is 0 complemented, that is going to be 1. So after the first clock pulse, we get the next output of the second flip-flop Bn plus 1 is going to be 0 and the first flip-flop An plus 1 is going to be 1. Now this output becomes the present output before the second clock pulse. In the next clock cycle, the present state is nothing but the next state of the previous cycle, or Bn is equal to 0, An is equal to 0. So before the second clock pulse occur, the previous output, the previous next output, that is Bn plus 1 becomes Bn, and Bn plus 1 was 0. So now the Bn is going to be 0 before the second clock pulse. And An plus 1 was 1. So An is going to be 1 before the second clock pulse. So this becomes the present output before the second clock pulse. Now, output now is generated after the second clock pulse. What will be the output? that is an is equal to 1 and bn is equal to 0. So 0, 1, that is equal to 0. Output of the AND gate is going to be low when any one of the input is low. So xn is going to be 0 and next state is determined as bn plus 1 is going to be 0.1, that is going to be 1. Determined as bn plus 1 is going to be 0 XOR 1, that is equal to 1, and an plus 1 is equal to 1 dash, that is going to be 0. Continuing this exercise, we arrive at the state analysis table, also called the state table, as shown in a table 8.1. So whatever description we have learned, that we are using that description, we can prepare a state analysis table, which is also known as a state table. So this state table is very important for analysis of the sequential logic circuit. You have to understand how to prepare the state analysis table. To prepare a state analysis table, which are the columns is required. The first column is the present state is required. Second column is the present input is required for the flip-flops. Then the next state is going to be required and the present output X is going to be required. Present state of both the flip-flops, that is the Bn and An. Bn is the present state of the flip-flop B and An is the present state of the flip-flop A. Initial condition, we can consider that Bn is equal to 0 and An is equal to 0. We started with this condition. Now the input for the flip-flop B, that is SB and RB. What is SB is equal to? An, B and dash. We can substitute from here. An is equal to 0 and Bn is equal to 0. So Bn dash is going to be 1. So 0.1, that is going to be 0 for the AND gate. So SB input is going to be 0. What will be the RB input? An dot Bn. 0.0, that is going to be 0. So RB is going to be 0. These are the present inputs for the flip-flop B. Similarly, we can have a present input for the flip-flop A. SA and RA. Here there is a printing mistake. RB is not there, but it is RA. SA is going to be AN dash. So whatever AN is there, that is going to be complemented here. So 0 is going to be complemented to 1. And RB is equal to AN. So it is going to be the same one. That is 0 will be here. So these are the present state of the input for the flip-flop B as well as for the flip-flop A. Now the next state output. For the flip-flop B, the next state output is going to be Bn plus 1 after one clock pulse is going to be resulted. And that is the equation, the direct sum of An and Bn. That means exclusive OR gate of An direct sum of Bn. And we can see that An and Bn is going to be 0, 0. So 0 direct sum of 0, that is going to be 0. An plus 1, the next state output for the flip-flop A, that is An dash. So An is going to be complemented 0, so it is going to be 1. Now what is the present output? X is equal to An Bn. So An is equal to 0, Bn is equal to 0. So X output is going to be 0. So after one clock pulse, the present output remains to be 0 only. Now the next output, this one, is going to be the present input for the next present output for before the second clock pulse. So 0, 1. Initially we start from the 0, 0. Then the next output is going to be 0, 1. That 0, 1 becomes the present output before the second clock pulse. So 0, 1 is going to be there. This data can be substituted in all the formulas and we will get the value of SB is equal to An Bn dash. An is equal to 1, Bn dash is going to be 1. So 1.1 is going to be 1. RB is equal to An Bn, that means 1.0, that is going to be 0. SA is going to be An dash, That means 1 dash, that is going to be 0. And RA is equal to AN, that is going to be 1. Bn plus 1 is nothing but the 2 input exclusive OR gate 0 1. So the output is going to be 1 for the exclusive OR gate. So Bn plus 1 is going to be 1. An plus 1 is going to be An dash, that is going to be 1 dash, that is going to be 0. And X is equal to An Bn, that is going to be inputs 0.1, that is going to be 0. So output remains 0. Now this next state output 1 0 becomes the present state output before the third clock pulse. So that output 1 0 is written over here. That is the third row 1 0. Substituting the value of Bn is equal to 1 and An is equal to 0 in all this input SB, RB, SA, RB, RA, SA, RA and Bn plus 1, An plus 1, and substituting here will obtain the third output X is going to be 0. Now the next output was 1 1. That is going to be added over here. So this becomes the present output 1 1. Again by substituting we are getting this one and the next output becomes 0 0. So after 4 clock pulses, again this next output becomes the input for the present output before the 5th clock pulse. So and we can see that at the 4th clock pulse the output becomes high. So this way the state analysis table or state table can be prepared. Looking to the state table, we can see that when the clock pulse hit both the flip-flop together, on a first clock pulse the output is going to be 0. On a second clock pulse output remains to be 0. On third clock pulse also output X remains 0, and after the fourth clock pulse output becomes 1. And this output remains high of the AND gate X for 1 clock cycle. And again this cycle is going to be repeated. That means this analysis is going to be repeated for another 4 clock cycles. We find that the state as well as the output of the above circuit repeat after every 4 clocking periods, and every 4th clock period the output remains high for 1 clock period. Thus the circuit behaves like a counter that counts the number of clock pulses that has arrived at its inputs and signal out when there is a count of 4. That means this circuit which is given, it is acting like a counter which is counting the number of clock pulses, and at every 4th clock pulse the counter output, that is X signal out, is going to be high. A pictorial representation of the performance of the circuit showing a state transition with each clock is shown in figure 8.38. The same analysis can be shown in a pictorial representation in a state transition diagram that we can show in a figure 8.38. The value within the circle follow the syntax Bn An /Xn. Flip-flop outputs defining the current state is shown to the left of the slash, and the current output appear at the right side of this slash. That means here you can see that the pictorial representation of the state transition diagram is shown here. So here each state is shown like the circle, and from one state when it makes a transition to the another state after 1 clock pulse, there is another circle is going to be there, then there is a third circle is going to be there, then there is a fourth circle is going to be there, and then after the cycle is going to be repeat, so it comes to the initial state 0 0. Inside this one circle, syntax is written like this one: Bn An, that is the present output of the flip-flop, and after the slash on the right side the X output is mentioned, Xn is going to be mentioned. So initially we started with this, Bn is equal to 0, An is equal to 0. And output X is equal to Bn dot An, that is going to be 0. The next state is going to be Bn is equal to 0, An is going to be 1, and output remains to be 0. On the next state, the Bn is equal to 1, An is going to be 0, but still output remains to be 0. After the fourth clock pulse, the Bn is going to be 1, An is going to be 1, and output becomes 1 now. And this output is going to be signal out for one clock cycle, and when the next clock pulse is going to be there, it again comes to the initial state, or cycle is going to be repeating. That means this is working as a counter and counting 4 clock pulses, and every fourth clock pulse the output of the X goes to high, and it remains to high for one clock cycle. Such a circuit where the output is directly derived from the current state only and not from the current input is called the Moore circuit. So, in a sequential logic circuit can be designed in two different methods. One is a Moore model, or which is known as a Moore circuit, and second is a Mealy model, which is called a Mealy circuit. What is the difference between these two? In a Moore model, the next output Qn plus 1 is a function of present output Qn as well as, and it does not depend upon the inputs. That means in a Moore model, output Qn plus 1 is a function of present output Qn only. This is known as a Moore model. In a Mealy model, the next output Qn plus 1 is a function of present output Qn as well as it is also a function of a input of the flip-flops. That means here the input is also considered. Output is dependent on inputs as well as the present output, that is called Mealy models. So there's two different approach to preparing a sequential logic circuit is there. Detail about these things and designing of this Moore model and Mealy model we are going to study in semester 5th in a design of sequential logic circuit in chapter number 11. Often a state transition diagram of a sequential logic circuit serves a better than word description and is presented as final output of the analysis exercise. So this pictorial representation, or we can say that state transition diagram of a sequential logic circuit serves better, or it gives a better understanding and easy understanding compared to the state table and the word description of the sequential logic circuit. Analysis of the sequential circuit can also be done through the timing diagram where all the input, output and if necessary indeterminate variables are plotted against some reference signal, say the clock input. There is another method which is known as a timing diagram method through which the analysis of the sequential circuit can be done. What is this timing diagram? We can draw the timing diagram for a different inputs of the flip-flop A and B. The present output of the flip-flop A and B, that is An and Bn. We can have a input S and R for the flip-flop A as well as S and R for the flip-flop B. And output X can also be drawn with respect to the clock inputs. So all these timing diagrams are going to be drawn with the synchronization with the clock input. Here on the negative edge of the clock pulse, the output of the flip-flop is going to be changed. So analysis of the sequential circuit can also be done through a timing diagram where all the input, output and if necessary indeterminate variables are plotted against some reference signal, say the clock input. The timing diagram observed by analyzing the circuit. Figure 8.37 is shown in figure 8.39. So this timing diagram is here shown in a figure 8.39 for the same circuit which we have studied for sequential logic circuit. 8.37. The method followed is given next. We start with the initial state b is equal to 0 and a is equal to 0. And note that this state can only change when the negative edge of the clock comes. So this is the timing diagram of the circuit given in figure 8.36. So the first one is the clock waveforms. The perfectly periodic clock waveforms are given here. And you can see that if there is a transition is going to be made, the transition is going to be made by this dotted lines, which is going to be occur at the negative edge of each clock pulse. So when the clock pulse make a transition from high to low, any changes will be there. This is going to be happening. So that is taken, clock frequency is taken as a reference level. This is the output B and A is going to be there. This is the waveform for A and this is the waveform for B. Initially, we have taken B is also going to be 0, A is also going to be 0. Then A is going to be complemented with each clock pulse. B is going to be complemented with 2 clock pulse. So this is going to be, the output is going to be changing of A is going to be 0, then 1, then again it is going to be 0, then 1 like this way, again 0 and 1 like that way. B is going to be complemented after 2 clock pulse. So here 0, again here it is going to be 0, then it becomes 1, it remains 2 cycle for 1, and again for the 2 cycle it remains 0, again for the 2 cycle it becomes 1. So this is the waveform for A and B. Now the waveform for the input SB and RB. Here the equation is mistaking. SB is equal to AB bar, not BA bar. So here there is a mistake or misprint is there. SB is equal to AB bar. The waveform are correct. A, B bar. A is going to be 0, B bar is going to be 1. So this is going to be 0. On a second cycle, when A is going to be 1 and B bar is going to be 1, so the output is going to be high. So whenever A is going to be high and B is going to be low, SB is going to be high. So it is happening here. Again, the same thing, you can see that it is happening here. A is going to be high and B is going to be low. Again, AN, BN bar, that is going to be high. So SB is going to be high. So this way we can draw the waveform for SB. What is RB? RB is equal to AB. That means A and B both are going to be high. Then and then only RB is going to be high. So here it is happening. A is going to be high, B is going to be high, so RB is going to be high. Again, this is going to be happening here. A is going to be high, B is going to be high, so RB is going to be high. So this way, the waveform for RB is going to be drawn. Similarly, the waveform for the input of the flip-flop A, SA is going to be A bar and RA is going to be A. That can be drawn. So whatever A waveform is there, A bar is complement of that waveform is there, or it is called mirror image of A waveform is there. So that is SA is equal to, when A is going to be low, A bar is going to be high. When A is going to be high, A bar is going to be low. So that way the mirror image of this one can be drawn here, and that is SA. RA is equal to the waveform A only. So same waveform can be again redrawn over here. Now what is X is equal to AB? That means the final output of the circuit is high only when both the A and B is going to be high. So you can see that here it is 0, 0, A and B. So output will be low. Here it is going to be 0, 1. Again it is going to be 0. Here it is going to be 1, 0. Again it is going to be 0. But here it is going to be 1, 1 condition is there. B is going to be 1 and A is going to be 1. So X output is going to be high. So you can see that this X output remains to be low for the 3 clock cycles. On the 4th clock cycle, it is going to be high. Again, it is going to be low after 1 clock cycle, and it remains for low for the 3 clock cycle. Again, it becomes high for 1 clock cycle. You can see that A is high and B is high. So output X is going to be high. So this way, using the timing diagram, the circuit analysis can be done. This everything is written over here. The next state value of B and A are dependent on the circuit input SB and RB and SA and RA at the time of the clock trigger. As done before, these input values are derived following the relations given in the circuit diagram. That means from the circuit diagram, SA is equal to A bar and RA is equal to A, SB is equal to AB bar and RB is equal to AB. Suffix n can be ignored. Here we are not writing suffix n, which we have utilized in a previous analysis. For B is equal to 0 and A is equal to 0, we get SA is equal to 1 and RA is equal to 0, SB is equal to 0 and RB is equal to 1, and this value can change only when B and A changes in the next clock cycle, and that way the waveform for A and B can be drawn. Thus, above value of SR input of the two flip-flop continues till the next negative edge of the clock. For SB is equal to 0 and RB is equal to 1, at the next edge of the clock P remains at 0. From the truth table of SR flip-flop. Similarly, for SA is equal to 1, RA is equal to 0, flip-flop A moves to the 1. Thus, we get B and A values to the next clock cycle. Following above relations, we now calculate SR input values of this flip-flop as SA is equal to 0 and RA is equal to 1, SB is equal to 1 and RB is equal to 0, and this again remains constant up to the next edge of the clock pulse. So whatever I've described in a waveform, that is written over here. Here as SB is equal to 1 and RB is equal to 0, B moves to the 1, and as SA is equal to 0, RA is equal to 1, A moves to the 0. Next state output is going to be 0 and remains constant till the next clock trigger. SR inputs are again calculated and this process is continued for subsequent clock cycles. So finally what we are getting? In each of these clock cycles, we calculate and draw the output following relations. That is, X is equal to the product of input A and B. So when A and B both are going to be high, then output X is going to be high. This is going to be happen with the timing diagrams. So the timing diagram shows that the state gets repeated. As in initial state 0, 0, the output X is going to be 0. At the next state 0, 1, the still output remains to be 0. The next state 1, 0, output remains to be 0, and the next state 1, 1, the output becomes 1, and then the cycle repeats to 0, 0, and so on. Repetition occurs after every fourth clock cycle. The output X is equal to AB accordingly shows that repetition as the initial state output X was 0, for the second clock pulse output remains 0, for the third clock pulse output remains 0, and the fourth clock pulse output remains to be high for one clock cycle, and again this cycle is going to be repeated starting with the initial state 0, then 0, 0 and 1, and remains high for one clock period every time the flip-flop output becomes B is equal to 1, A is equal to 1, then X becomes 1. A detailed analysis of the various configuration of the counter and its timing diagram will be presented in a chapter 10. Now, there is one example similar kind of analysis here. Here, there is a D flip-flop is given. So in a D flip-flop, you know that one of the input data D flip-flop. That means output will take the value of this D after the clock edge is going to be occur. That is the way D flip-flop is going to be working. It is having only one input. But using the exclusive OR gate, there are two inputs is going to be prepared. Here in a figure, there is a misprint is there. This X input is actually here. This X is going to be here. So X is one of the input of the exclusive OR gate. And another input of the exclusive OR gate is this Qn. Qn is another input of this exclusive OR gate. So exclusive OR gate is having two input. One is Qn and another one is going to be X. So X should be drawn here. This is supposed to be designated. X is not this one. And this is the clock waveforms. Output of this circuit is X bar. That means Qn bar, and another input is going to be X will be there. So you can see that. Explain the function of the circuit shown in figure 8.40 through the state transition diagram. The D flip-flop input can be written as D, which is having two input of exclusive OR gate, X and Qn. So one of the input is X and another input is the present output Qn. That is the input for exclusive OR gate, and that output is given as a D input for the flip-flop. And output Y is equal to X Qn bar. Figure 8.14a shows the state table, and figure 8.14b its state transition diagram. So next picture we are going to see the state table as well as state transition diagram. Note that circuit follows the Mealy model, and at any given time the output state is a function of the present output Qn as well as the input X also. So this is a state diagram or state table. Qn is starting with the initial conditions. Qn is going to be 0. It is reset. X is given 0 value. Then D is equal to D input is the output of exclusive OR gate. So 0 0 is the input for the exclusive OR gate. So output of the exclusive OR gate is going to be 0. So D becomes 0. Qn plus 1, next state, after the clock pulse occur. That means output will take the value of D after the clock pulse occur. So Qn plus 1 is equal to D. So Qn plus 1, D is going to be 0. So Qn plus 1 is going to be 0. So this output is going to be the present state for the input. So Qn is going to be 0 now because Qn plus 1 is 0. So before the next clock cycle start, this Qn plus 1 becomes Qn here. That is going to be 0. Now X can be 1. So X is going to be 1. So what is the D input? Output of the exclusive OR gate, which is having input 0 1. So that output of exclusive OR gate is going to be 1. So D input is going to be 1. So after the clock pulse occur, the D flip-flop takes the value of D. So Qn plus 1 is going to be 1. This is the next output after the second clock pulse. This is going to be the present state before the third clock pulse. So this is going to be 1. X can be 0. Again 1 0 condition is there. Using that one, D is going to be 1, exclusive OR gate output, and Qn plus 1 takes the value of D, so it is also going to be 1. This present output is going to be the input, present input for the next state. So this is going to be 1 and X can be 1. So here the output is going to be 0. That means D is going to be 0 and Qn plus 1 takes the value of D, that is going to be 0. And that way we get this 4 column. Now output column Y is equal to X Qn bar. X is going to be this and Qn complemented. So 0 1 output is going to be 0. 1 0 bar, that is going to be 1. So 1 1 condition, so output is going to be 1. 0 0 condition, so output is going to be 0. And 1 0 condition, so output is going to be 0. So only for this condition 0 1, the output is going to be high, which is shown here with the state transition diagram B. So this circuit follows the Mealy model generated from the input to the state. That means the next state output Qn plus 1 is a function of present output Qn as well as the input also. Thus the output are shown by the side of the input in the state transition diagram. So whatever we have learned in a previous case in a figure B, the output is shown to the right side and inputs are shown to the left side of the slash inside a circle for a state transition diagram. On the careful examination, we can see that something interesting in the above circuit. If we ignore Y, then the D flip-flop block with exclusive OR gate as connected behaves like a T flip-flop. So this D flip-flop is converted into the T flip-flop if we ignore the Y output, then it exactly behaves like a toggle mode conditions. That means, and this X input is definitely, you can say that it is a T input where X is going to be 0. Then what happens? No change conditions. Output will take the value of the previous output only. Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn only. But when T is going to be 1 or X is going to be 1, then output is going to be complemented, or it is working as a toggle mode conditions. So this way it behaves like a T flip-flop. Okay, so here we are completing this particular unit. Now there are certain questions related with this one. You can answer that one. Question 1. What is the analysis of the sequential circuit? Question 2. Which of the truth table and excitation table is useful for analysis of the sequential circuit? Thank you very much, friends.